Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today in this video we are going to learn about punctuation marks. What are punctuation marks? Definition: punctuation is the name of the marks used in writing. They are very essential signs to understand a sentence in correct way. They represent the expression and feeling in a sentence. So we use punctuation marks to understand a sentence in a correct way. So they generally express some feeling or an expression in a sentence. What is the need of a punctuation mark? Punctuation is used to bring clarity and meaning to writing. So why we use punctuation marks? To understand a sentence very clearly and to understand the meaning. What are we actually writing? To understand that, we are making use of the punctuation marks. So let us start with the punctuation marks. The first one we are going to see here is capital letters. So where are the capital letters used in English writing? Many words are always start with a capital letter. Remember the acronym MINS for the correct usage of capital letters. So in the table we can see the acronyms. The abbreviation for the acronym has been given here and the examples also for the use of the capital letters is explained here. So when we see the first one, it is M. M stands for months and also the names of the days. So wherever the months, the names of the months or the days of the week comes, we have to use a capital letter. If you see the example, Christmas is celebrated in December. My school started on Monday. So here the word December and Monday starts with a capital letter. So this is, we have to use capital letters before the months and the names of the days. The next is I. The word I. I helped my friends with her homework. Did I tell you about the movie I watched last night? So here the word I, it always comes in the capital letter. Wherever it comes, either it comes in the first part of the sentence, that if, for example, if the sentence starts with the letter I, it will be in capital letter, or the sentence comes in between the sentence also, then the word I stands in the capital letter. So wherever I is placed, either it placed in the front or in between the sentences, it is always in capital letter. So in the example you can see, in the first example the I is the first word of the sentence. In the second example, I comes in two places and it comes in between the sentence. So wherever I is placed, it is always in capital letter. The next is N. Names of people, states, cities and countries. This is basically proper nouns. So wherever proper nouns are coming in a sentence, you have to use a capital letter. My sister Mala studies in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. Our class went to Thailand last week. So Mala, Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, Thailand. All these are proper nouns. So whenever we have proper nouns in a sentence, we have to start the word with a capital letter. Understood, children? So we have seen so far three different places where we can use capital letters, that is months, the names of the days, the word I always stands capital letter, then proper nouns. Next is T, titles of books and movies. So whenever we are seeing any title, the name of the books, the name of the movies, something like that, we have to use capital letters. Example, I am going to watch The Beauty and the Beast tonight. My favorite comic book is Faster Fen. So here the name of the book and the name of the movie is given, which starts with a capital letter. The last place we see is S, start of a sentences. So whenever we start a sentence, we start the sentence with a capital letter. Example, Simran went home. She met her dogs. So the first letter in the sentence is Simran. So here it starts with a capital letter. As the sentence ends, when we start a new sentence, we again start with a capital letter. She met her dogs. Simran went home. She met her dogs. So Simran and she is the first part of the sentence. So we use a capital letter. So where are the places we have to use capital letters? For the months and names of the days is for I, for the proper nouns, for the titles of the books and movies, and whenever we start a new sentence. So these are the places where we have to use capital letters. So just remember the word mints, MINTS, mints. So for the correct usage of capital letters. Now let us see what are the different punctuation marks we have. The first one is full stop. I am placed at the end of a sentence or statement. So full stops are generally used at the end of a statement or a sentence. Example, I will travel tomorrow. So here after tomorrow we have a full stop. So whenever a statement or a sentence ends, we end it with a full stop. The next is comma. I am used to separate 3 or more words or items in a list. I am used to separate the person addressed. So commas are used in two different places. Either it is used to separate the words or it is used to separate the person who is addressing. Okay. So examples, if you see, we ate chips, cake, candies and ice creams at the party. So this is the example for the first place where we separating the words. When 2-3 more than few words are there and coming next to each other, we are using the word commas here to separate those words. Next, we said that we have to use comma to separate the person addressed. So whenever we are addressing a person, the name of the person is given. After the name, we add a comma and the statement follows it. Example, Percy, comma, pour me some milk. So here you are addressing Percy. So we after Percy we are putting a comma and then we are giving the statement. Okay. So Percy, comma, pour me some milk. So commas are basically used between 2 to 3 words, or it is used to separate the person address. So this was about the full stop and comma. Next punctuation mark is question mark. I am placed at the end of a question. So where are we using the question marks? I think you all know. So we generally use question marks after a question. So whenever we ask a question, we end the sentence using a question mark. Example, where are we going? After that we have to add a question mark. So this was about question mark. The next is exclamation mark. So where we use these exclamation marks? I am placed at the end of sentences that convey emotions, happiness, excitement, frustration or anger. So these are the different emotions, and whenever we have to express our emotions, we end the sentences using an exclamation mark. For example, what a beautiful beach! Exclamation mark. So whenever we showing some emotions in a sentence, we use exclamation mark. Then another place where we use exclamation mark is I am placed after interjections. What are interjections, children? It is nothing but it is used to express a sudden burst of feeling or emotion. So whenever we have sudden emotion or a feeling, we use words like alas, hooray, wow, wonderful. So when we are showing some excitement in our sentence, we make use of exclamation mark. So these excitements is called as interjections, and after the interjections we make use of exclamation mark. For example, oh dear, exclamation mark. This room is so messy, full stop. So here we are making use of the exclamation mark before an interjection. So basically we use exclamation mark before a sentence that convey emotions, and we use before after an interjections. So these are the places where we use exclamation marks. So we have seen full stop, comma, question mark and exclamation mark. So let us see what are the different punctuation marks are there. Now punctuations in dialogue. So dialogue means whenever we have some conversation with people. So dialogue are we have using some punctuation marks. So what are these? Let us see now. Punctuation also plays an important role when we write in a dialogue form. As we have learned in class 4, we use certain punctuation marks when we want to show that two or more people are talking. So when two or more people are talking and their talks are being written, we use punctuation marks. Okay. So example, Seema has a book, said Rohan. So here the words spoken by the person are written inside the commas. Okay. So these are called as, when the commas are put on top, these are called as quotes, and these are otherwise called as inverted commas because the commas are on top. Okay. So in the sentence above, single quotes are used to show the part that is spoken or quoted. So the exact word spoken by the person is written inside the quotes, so inverted commas. So after the words spoken, we have to put a comma, said Rohan. So we have to separate the person and the words spoken by the person using a comma. So this is the first thing about the quotes. A comma is used to separate the quoted part from the rest of the sentence. So what are we quoting and the rest of the sentence, that is the person, we have to separate using a comma. The first word within quotes always starts with a capital letter. So whenever we are writing the quotes, either the sentence starts with the quotes or the sentence is ending with the quote. The inside the quotes, the first letter will always be a capital letter. These are the rules that we have to follow while we are writing the dialogues. So the first thing we have to see is the exact word spoken by the person must be within the quotes. We have to use a comma to separate quotes before the rest of the sentence. The first word within the quotes always starts with a capital letter. So these are the basic things we have to keep in mind when we are writing dialogues. Okay, so this was about inverted commas. Now let us see colon. So what are colons? Colons are nothing but just two dots. Okay, have you seen colons? Two dots. So where we make use of these colons? So here examples are given. Rosie has only one friend, colon, Tina. The second example, we read books by three authors, colon, Roald Dahl, J.K. Rowling and Charles Dickens. So the list is given here. So before the list we must use the word, the punctuation colon. Then in the third example, our football match starts at 8:30 a.m. So when we are separating hours from minutes, we use colon. So where are in the above sentences, let us see where we are using the colons. It is used to introduce a word or list. So whenever we are using introducing a word or a list is being given, we are using colons. It makes the reader stop and pay attention to the information. So we are making use of the colons so that the reader is stopping and he is showing some attention to the places. And it is also used to separate hours from minutes and numbers in ratios. So when we are separating the numbers and minutes, so we are using the colons. So these are the places where colons are used. The next punctuation we are seeing is apostrophe. Apostrophe is used to show belonging or possession, that something belongs to someone. We use the apostrophe with the letter S to show possession. So apostrophe means we are making use of a S, an apostrophe, and it shows the possession, okay, belonging, that something belongs to someone. Okay, the relationship between a object and a person we are showing using the punctuation apostrophe. Example, the child ball. This is incorrect. So whenever we use showing a possession, we have to say use the apostrophe s. The child's ball. So after the word child, we have used apostrophe and a s. So here we show that the ball is actually belonging to the child. So we are using apostrophe s here. The apostrophe has been used to show that the ball belongs to the child. So the relationship between the person and the object is being given using apostrophe s. There are four main rules for adding apostrophe for possession. Let us understand them. So we have four rules to understand where we have to use apostrophes. So rule 1, if a noun is singular, add apostrophe. So whenever we have the nouns, when the nouns comes in a singular form, we can add apostrophe. For example, the cap of the bottle, the bottle's cap. So to represent that the cap belongs to the bottle, we say the bottle's cap. So here after the bottle we are adding an apostrophe s. So when the noun is singular form, we add apostrophe. Rule 2, if the noun is plural, add the apostrophe s. So writing of women's writing. So when we represent a plural form of a word also, we can add apostrophe. Rule 3, if the noun is singular and ends in s, still add apostrophe. So the words which are ending with s also, we can add apostrophe. The wheels of the bus wheel. So here we are adding the apostrophe s before a word which ends with s. Rule 4, if the noun is plural and ends in s, add just an apostrophe. So the words which are plural and which ends with s, then we are adding just the apostrophe. We don't add another s to that. Okay, so example, team of boys team. So when we have a plural word and the word which ends with s, so such words we have to use apostrophe after the s, and we don't add s to that. Okay, so we just use only the apostrophe and we don't add the s. So these are the four places. For the first rule is we have to add after a noun when it is in singular form. We can add even after a noun when it is in plural form, and to the nouns in singular but ends with s, and to the nouns in plural and that ends with s again. So here we add just the apostrophe and not the apostrophe s. So these are the rules of the apostrophe. So basic punctuation marks we have seen in this video. I hope you all understood, children. Thank you. Have a nice day.